Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here, and once again it is time for a dynamic effort lower day, but a quick reminder for those of you who watch these videos. Please remember to click like down below, be greatly appreciated. Alright, today was another one of those days where I felt like I needed more sleep. I'm going to spend the weekend getting caught up on sleep. We ran a little less volume than normal, made up for it slightly on the reverse hypers, because really right now I feel like they're going to bring the most to the table for me. But yeah, just, noticing that general fatigue. So it's time to up the sleep. Had a day or two this week where I didn't get as much sleep as is ideal, but that's also potentially a product of all my training volume, all my workloads. They're adding up, they're accumulating. So most of the lifts I only did 2 sets of speed work. I did 4 sets of each. We did 2 sets of good mornings, 2 sets of belt squats, 2 sets of glute ham raises, and then I did 6 sets of the reverse hypers. Again, the most restorative movement. But yeah, I'm definitely feeling the fatigue adding up. And particularly, I think since I started reducing my calories slightly this week, we need to start dropping a little bit of body weight, a little bit of body fat. And of course, those of you who saw my Facebook post, many chimed in, had a laugh. I'm going to make weight, not a problem, always do. Always do, never failed to. Strength is in a good place. Strength's in a good place. I can now train my lats again. I'm going to be careful of overuse for a bit on the lats. I think given that pull, I thought about today, should I do some extra lat work? I don't know that I need to. I feel like those rows, doing speed pulls, all that stuff may be enough. And if I need anything, it needs to be a little more grip work, a little more hammer curls later. Again, but I can do some grip work. I can do a few dead hangs this weekend, stuff like that, while I get caught up on recovery. Okay, and we can assess where grip is. I don't think my grip is limiting my deadlifts at the moment. I really don't. But, a little more grip is never a bad thing. It's never a bad thing. But I feel like I'm at a point where it's not really limiting me, and it won't take much to make sure it doesn't. It may be as simple as adding some axle bar inverted rows on my upper days, and I can focus more on lower body on lowers. Today, obviously, I wasn't up for my normal sort of training volumes, and that's okay. All right, we don't have to necessarily hit those volumes all the time. But the speed pulls felt good. These felt good, but they did. My hands started hurting on these too. And notice I'm getting this stuff more tame. I'm bringing all the speed work back into a little more tame percentages. But again, we'll make it flow. I'll need to up the volume back a little bit on these coming up. I need to bring it back up a hair, next week. But I feel like I probably need this weekend to get caught up on sleep. I really do, because I'm not deloading going back into this, and I think a lot of that people know now. I was traveling a lot. My deload weeks, I used to travel. Right, I used to go see a girlfriend of mine who lives in another city, and I did that for years, and that obviously didn't work out. But I'm going to keep my personal life pretty much off the internet again at this point. I think it's just the wise thing to do. It doesn't benefit me for anyone to know about my life. It just doesn't. And I think once I get moved, I'm in a house, people don't even really know where I'm going to be at least for a while. Things will actually just come down to just my training again. It's going to be all about the training. Hopefully people don't care about other stuff like that anymore. And, it is what it is. But definitely noticing a lot of low back pumps. All right, a lot of low back pumps happening this week, and I think that's contributing to all of it. Again, a lot of stuff going on with that. Taking more taurine to see if it helps with that, and we need to make some adjustments to my supplementation. Right, we'll need to make some adjustments because I can't really afford that to interfere with my training volumes. Right, we can't afford for that to happen because I do need to be able to train all these lower back movements more. I need to be able to train them. But the belt squats, these were hard today, and again, I think it shows that some of that fatigue's kicking in. But the thing is, by doing all these exercises and doing 2 pretty hard sets on all of them, after doing some speed work, we're still getting a training response. People will see that and go, is it giving you anything? Of course it is. Of course it is, especially if we do speed work or ME work first. We've attenuated upper threshold fibers, right? We've attenuated them, and then we can come in and just get this work done. But I think what we're going to see is more of me, not doing as many sets on the biggest movements. If we have extra areas that need the volume, we can use small movements to do it, to bring those up so that we mitigate overall fatigue. That's where you're seeing all the smaller tricep work, all the bands. Right, we're seeing all the bands. Low back, we're doing the reverse hypers. Okay, and it's the case of bigger movements. We can only handle so much volume. We get a lot out of them, but right now, again, we can only handle so much, and I need to be focusing on, bringing up all the weak links. I mean, we always want to get bigger and stronger, but again, I've run a lot of volume for a little while, and it's starting to catch up, and I need to get caught up on the recovery, need to get caught up on the fatigue. We've got Worlds in October, 3 months out, and I'm having to drop a little body weight now. So again, volume's going to have to be mitigated accordingly. It's going to have to be mitigated accordingly, and that's okay. Perfectly fine. We can put the extra work into the smaller areas with the easier to recover from exercise, but we have to be careful with those movements. You guys notice what you're not seeing me do. Right? You're not seeing me do movements that beat tendons up, because a lot of single joint exercises can. Putting that extra work into movements that are good for the tendons and things, good for the tendons of the low back, good for the tendons in the elbows. All right. But yeah, just 2 sets of each of these. And again, it comes down to looking at what are our minimum volumes to grow. I'm going to have to be pushing some of these movements towards those minimum volumes again for a bit. Again, particularly without a calorie surplus, right? With no calorie surplus to grow on. I don't think we're going to get much bigger. I think we're not going to get any bigger between now and Worlds. All right? So I need to make sure I'm recovered. Need to make sure we're not getting hurt. But reverse hypers, these are the name of the game. Did 6 sets of 10 on these. Since I reduced volume on the other stuff just to handle this, it's almost a deload day in a way. All right, since we reduced overall volume, it's like, let's just do 1 more set of the reverse hypers, the most restorative movement. And I think that's a good way to go. It's a good way to go. And even these, I'm noticing a lot of fatigue accumulating. The low back is just cramped. It's pumping. I want to make sure my hamstrings don't cramp today. So I think even then, I've been trying to debate with the glute ham raises. What can we handle without the cramps? I've been saying, well, I could just do 5 sets of good mornings and not do them at all, but I don't know if that's the best approach. I don't feel like I want to remove them completely. We just have to watch the volume. But yeah, so we finished up with the 6 sets of reverse hypers, which I'll let you guys watch here. Again, weekend's going to be spent getting extra sleep in. All right, it's going to be spent getting extra sleep in. I have no new intake scheduled. Only client Skypes I'm going to do are going to be the ones that are already on the books, right? Shouldn't need any extras beyond that. So I hope it has been informative, and I'll talk to you guys next time.